everyone, welcome once again to this online chemistry class for class 10. So we are doing this chapter, that is chapter number 3, metals and non-metals. So in this we have started learning the chemical properties of metals, and we have completed studying about the reaction of metals with oxygen and reaction of metals with water. And in today's session we'll start learning the reaction of metals with acids. Okay, let's now get into today's session. We have already learned that when metals react with oxygen, or when metals are burnt in air, they form the corresponding metal oxide. And when they react with water, when the metals react with water, they form the corresponding metal oxide and liberate hydrogen gas. If this metal oxide is soluble in water, in that case it forms the corresponding metal hydroxide. And we have learned that the sodium and potassium are highly reactive with air and with water, right? And in today's session we are going to begin learning about reaction of metals with acids. Okay, we have already learned that metals react with acids to form the corresponding salt and liberate hydrogen gas. So let me write it for you. Metal react with dilute acid to form the corresponding salt and liberate hydrogen gas. Now let's begin with an activity given in your textbook, page number 44, activity number 3.1. Okay, in that it is said that you have to take samples of metals like magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron and copper. These 5 metal samples you have to take, leaving your sodium and potassium. This has to be taken in separate test tubes. Okay, let's see. Suppose if this metals are tarnished, means you can rub it with sandpaper, you can clean them with sandpaper. Now you have to take these metal samples in 4 test tubes, 5 test tubes. For example, test tube A, B, C, D and E, which contains dilute hydrochloric acid. These test tubes, all these test tubes will contain dilute hydrochloric acid. Okay, test tube A will have dilute hydrochloric acid similarly, and in that you will put your magnesium. Your test tube B will have dilute hydrochloric acid, in that you are going to put your aluminium, and in here you will put dilute hydrochloric acid is already taken in the test tube, and in that you are putting zinc. In this test tube D you will take dilute hydrochloric acid is already there with iron, and this test tube E will have dilute hydrochloric acid, and in that you will put copper. Now in these test tubes you have to put suppose your dilute hydrochloric acid is in this. You have to, after you put the metals, you have to insert thermometers into every test tube, ensuring that the bulb of the thermometer is dipped well within the acid. Okay, now you have to observe carefully the rate of bubble formation in every test tube and the temperature recorded by every thermometer. In every test tube you will put a thermometer, and you will ensure that the bulb of the thermometer is dipped well within the acid, and you have to make a note of what the bubble formation and the temperature. So when you do like this, you will find that the test tube A, in that we had magnesium. Test tube A, which contain magnesium, will have the highest bubble formation rate, and the temperature will be recorded highest there, followed by aluminium, and then by zinc, and then by Fe. The bubbles that are formed in these test tubes shows the liberation of hydrogen gas evolved, right? So With copper, you will not find any reaction taking place. So based on this, you will arrange these elements in the decreasing order of their reactivity. So in which test tube we saw the highest amount of temperature recorded and vigorous formation of bubbles? That was in test tube A, which contained magnesium, then aluminium, and then zinc, and then iron. With copper, no reaction was seen at all. So when you arrange these elements in the decreasing order of their temperature and the bubble formation, you have to write the reactivity series like this: MgAl, Zn, and then comes your Fe. Okay, so magnesium reacts vigorously with dilute hydrochloric acid, and in your book they have asked you to write the equation format of the reaction of these metals with dilute hydrochloric acid. Let me write that for you. First, let me take your magnesium. Magnesium reacts with hydrochloric acid to give MgCl2 plus H2. So let's balance. Here you put a 2. Okay, now let's write down the reaction for iron with aluminum. I'll tell later because the balancing is little tedious there, so that I have done at the end. Okay, now with iron it is Fe plus HCl gives you FeCl2 plus H2. When I balance, I'll put a 2 here. Similarly with zinc, it is Zn plus HCl gives you ZnCl2 plus H2. So balance, it is 2 here. So from this we have learned that magnesium is highly reactive when compared to your aluminium, zinc and iron, and copper does not show any reaction with dilute hydrochloric acid. But in general we say that metal on its reaction with acids will form the corresponding salt and liberate hydrogen gas. But there are certain acids, like nitric acid. All metals will not react with nitric acid, which is considered to be a strongest acid. So that we will see in the upcoming slides. Okay, see how to write the equation of reaction of aluminium with hydrochloric acid. See here, aluminium reacts with hydrochloric acid, listen carefully, to give you AlCl3 plus H2. Aluminium chloride is a salt and hydrogen gas is liberated. Now how to balance this? See, here H is 2. So if I put a 2 here, Cl will also be 2, but here it is 3. So what should I do? I have to write 6 HCl here, so that it becomes 2 AlCl3 plus 3 H2. 3 2s are 6 hydrogen, and aluminium is 2, so here also it should be 2, and your chlorine is 3 2s are 6. Here you have 6. Clear to you? So we are talking about reaction of metals with acids. We have studied the reaction of few metal samples like magnesium, aluminium, zinc and iron with hydrochloric acid. Now let's take nitric acid, that is HNO3. Okay, nitric acid. Now this nitric acid is considered to be a very strong acid, or the most strongest acid. Okay, it's a very strong acid, okay, and this nitric acid is an oxidizing agent. Okay, it's an oxidizing agent. So this acid, on its contact with metals, not with all metals, with most of the metals, it will not liberate hydrogen gas. So nitric acid will not liberate hydrogen gas. Why? What should be the reason for this? I told you just now, this nitric acid is an oxidizing agent and it is a strong acid. And what is an oxidizing agent? What do you mean by oxidizing agent? This we have done already. What is an oxidizing agent? The substance which gives oxygen or removes hydrogen from a substance is called an oxidizing agent. A substance which gives oxygen or removes hydrogen from another substance is what is called as an oxidizing agent. So, this nitric acid is an oxidizing agent. It contains an oxygen molecule. So, this oxygen molecule will make it react only with metals like manganese and magnesium, okay, to produce hydrogen gas. In other cases or with other metals, this oxygen molecule present in nitric acid oxidizes the generated hydrogen gas into a water molecule. It will lead to the formation of water. Clear to you? See, once again I'll explain you. This nitric acid will not liberate hydrogen gas with most of the metals except manganese and magnesium. What is the reason? Because this nitric acid is an oxidizing agent. It contains an oxygen molecule. So what is an oxidizing agent? Anything that gives oxygen or removes hydrogen from another substance is what is called as an oxidizing agent. So when it reacts with magnesium and manganese, it will lead to the formation of hydrogen gas and form the corresponding salt. But with other metals, what will happen? This oxygen molecule present in this oxidizes the generated hydrogen gas into a water molecule. Clear to you? See now, I'll give you the equation which is not there in your book. Please note it. Magnesium on its reaction with nitric acid forms magnesium nitrate NgNO3 twice plus H2. So when you balance, it becomes 2HNO3. Okay, just yeah, it's balanced. So this is the equation. Please make a note of it. Now let me give the equation of the reaction of manganese with nitric acid, because I told you only magnesium and manganese reacts with this nitric acid, even zinc. So this manganese, when I write, it is Mn plus HNO3 gives you Mn NO3 twice manganese nitrate and liberate hydrogen gas. Okay, now see here. You should know one more thing here. See, N2O stands for nitrous oxide. NO stands for nitric oxide. N2O is nitrous oxide, NO is nitric oxide, and NO2, yes, it is nitrogen dioxide. Clear? Remember this. Now, see, from this, you can say that the rate of formation of bubbles was faster in the case of magnesium when compared to other three elements. So when you arrange them in the decreasing order of their reactivity, you will find magnesium at the top place, followed by aluminium, and then comes zinc, and then iron. Okay, now Now let's learn about aqua regia. Aqua, you know, water. Aqua regia is a Latin word whose meaning is royal water. Okay, it's called as royal water. Okay, this consists of concentrated, it's a combination of concentrated hydrochloric acid and concentrated nitric acid. Nitric acid itself is a strong acid, and if it is going to be concentrated, imagine in the ratio 3:1. Okay, so now this aqua regia can dissolve even the most unreactive metals. What are the unreactive metals? Examples: your gold, silver, platinum. They are all not reactive. So this aqua regia has the capacity to dissolve even the most unreactive metals. Okay, these metals, you know, this gold, platinum, they are insoluble in individual acids, but this aqua regia has the capacity to dissolve those metals even, which are considered to be unreactive. And this aqua regia is a highly corrosive liquid. No, it's dangerous. And this aqua regia, you know, the color, it is yellow orange in color. Okay, so with this we are coming to an end of today's session. Meet you soon in the next session with reactivity series and few other topics like how do metals react with solutions of other metal salts. Okay, so let's wind off here. Meet you soon. Take care. Goodbye.